Let's do this shit.
For all you mad bastards loving the Big Show podcast, get up even closer on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, or raw dog it 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki.
Yeah, man.
I reckon.
G'day, fellas.
Hi.
How you going?
Yeah, good. Bit tired today, but sleepy.
You're a bit sleepy as well. I'm a little bit sleepy.
I'm always sleepy. Feels like now.
Last night I had a great dream. Well, when I say a dream, I mean the entire time I was in bed with my eyes closed. It was all doing invoicing. I was doing invoicing.
That's
Interesting.
The whole night.
Yeah.
Was great.
While asleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what I was doing before I went to bed, and then just do that all night. Wake up. Whew, let's try and clear that out. Get rid of that invoicing. Back to sleep. Do some more invoicing.
That's so weird, isn't it?
Fucking brains, man.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't the human body an incredible thing, fellas? But it'd be good if you could just do a couple of tweaks, just a few renos on it, just to sort it out.
Yeah,
it is a fucking pain in the ass as well.
I wish I could modulate more the dreams that I have, because they're shockers. They're shockers.
Only once in my life did I have the knowledge at the time where I was like, oh no, I'm in a dream. I'm dreaming.
right,
That
yeah.
happened to me once, and it was great, but devastating, because it was also like I'd won the lottery or something incredible.
And
had
you
happened.
realise, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd been cast as like, in Wellington Paranormal or Brokenwood or something like
Sure.
that. And then I was like, oh no.
Broken, would you dreaming, mate?
That would be a dream
I mean,
come
that's
true.
top-notch stuff.
I
You know what I'm saying?
But then it was like, oh no, this is a dream. Fuck it.
Oh, it's a shame.
Fuck it. And then I woke up and I just had my life.
Yeah.
You woke up, you looked over, you saw your wife, you remembered you had your daughter in your house, and you're like, oh, fuck this.
Hey, interesting there. We probably can't do it on the radio. But the school, my daughter's school was locked down
Oh.
today. She was home sick, fortunately, but there was a gunman in the area.
Oh, Jesus.
A gunman. Or person.
That happened to me when I was at high school, I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, just once, though.
Yeah,
Same
just-
thing, there was a
it's pretty
gunman
good.
in the area.
And it turned out it was somebody on our street who was on his property with his BB gun shooting pigeons.
Right.
But that's back, so his place must back onto the school, so they had to lock it down.
Sure.
And it was like, oh, well, sweet, at least she's not at school. And then it came through, it's like, oh, it's on such and such a road. It's like, well, that's where we live. That's
Yeah, so we're less
that's not
safe.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, not
anyway,
good.
all sorted in the end.
Good stuff.
Hey, how good.
Why do you think you're tired, Keezy? Just life in general?
I don't know, yeah, I've had a pretty busy couple of weeks of doing stuff.
Sure.
Like mentally, not physical stuff, but mentally exhausting creative stuff.
Yes.
And then it finished off with a jump off the Harbour Bridge, and then
Which you haven't quite emotionally recovered from,
well,
maybe.
I probably have. And then Saturday, it was like a 30th, a few beers and that. And then Sunday was chill. And then today was the first day I didn't have anything other than the show on in a while.
Yes.
And my brain's just going, I might just switch off just for today, just for a wee bit.
Been a busy day.
So I've been gardening.
Oh,
That was
nice.
fun. Not really gardening, to be fair, more digging a hole before I put some garden edging down. A really big, long, 6 metre long thing with a little trowel and, trying to measure it up and get it to the right height.
Good stuff, mate.
it's hellish. It sounds like hell.
Well,
My-
invoicing sounds like hell to me.
Oh, yeah, well, that was a dream. Yeah. I mean, don't worry. There's nothing I hate more than invoicing.
At
When
least you get
when
money
you were
from
doing
that.
it in your dream, what was your emotional state? Were you aware of
That's
that?
exactly what my emotional state is when I have to do it when I'm
Which is what?
conscious
Annoyed?
over
and,
it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Horror of a mood.
Yeah.
because it's part of the business. But what I want to do, and I've had this conversation with my wife, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Sure.
I don't want to know anything. She's like, you got to know. It's like, yeah, I'm happy knowing about it. I just don't want to do it.
Yes.
So that is
now
my
you know
biggest
about it.
dream is
But you know what I mean? Now you know about it, you know how it all works. And so if you do hand it off,
the problem is you got to pay somebody if you hand it off.
Yes.
That's the problem. Then you got to
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
his invoices. Who's paying his
Pugs
invoices?
probably
Or
do
hers?
it. Pugs do it for free, I reckon. As like
Pugs
work
love it.
experience or something.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can do it if it's too much.
That would be great.
The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki. The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
I'm really good at invoicing.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the guy who hasn't claimed a single expense in the decade
I-
he's been at Hauraki
Because
he doesn't know how to do it?
Do you
I've-
like how he just acts like he hasn't heard a thing you said?
He's just cracking on with his own.
when I look back on my career, and I'm talking about stuff outside of the acting, sort of where my agent used to do all that. Obviously, it's been a shocker. It's been a shocker.
Accounting-wise, yeah.
We are not even that I was doing anything wrong, but the people I was dealing with, that I was constantly in these ridiculous fights and stupid scenarios of going, no, hang on, what? And even today, I still have some issues with invoicing.
I wonder if it's the most common thing in the world, the most common industry in the world where people are shockingly bad at it.
Yes.
Accountants, or so-called accountants, often bookkeepers. But most of the ones that I've ever come across are terrible.
Question. Yeah. Okay, so you know GST?
Yes.
So I'm GST registered, right? So you add 15% to everything. So let's say I do a job and I get $100. I then charge them $115.
Correct.
That person, when they say, hey, how much is this going to cost? And I say it'll be $100, do I then say plus GST?
Yes.
And you know what I mean? So all of a sudden, because they're dealing with me, it goes up by $15. How do they get that back?
It all comes back at the other end.
Right, so they have to be GST registered for it to be sweet.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's one
but
thing.
But it makes no difference. It makes no end.
And the wash at the end, when you do all your claiming and that, it all comes at you. Because I was just interested about that.
Well, I had a scenario that I told you guys a little while ago where, with the GST side of things, where the person that I was invoicing was saying it's your GST is based on what you receive after tax. And I said, no, it's not. It's
that's not
what
true.
You receive in total for your fee plus GST. And I had that argument with that person probably 4 times.
Yep.
And each time was a whir of an argument, and they finally went, oh, no, you're right. But then it happened again.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, we've had this conversation. That's not how it works.
It's surprising how much it comes up.
Yes.
We've just changed accountants and still the conversation.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's say it was $100 and you want to take 20% off for your withholding tax, so it becomes $80. Are they saying you pay your GST on the $80 only?
Yes.
And not the $100?
Yes.
Surely they're knowingly doing that.
Yeah, well, it's...
this person.
It wasn't good at the time, but I tell you what has been a game changer for me, getting an accountant. And because because what you're talking about is you having to deal with all that shit. The great thing about having an accountant is you go, there you go, thanks, mate. I'll pay you X amount of dollars, and he does all the work.
Think about
and I don't want to think about it ever again.
Yeah.
Do you use Xero?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got to start using that apparently.
It's pretty good.
Because I've been running
Xero?
XERO, I don't know.
It's accounting software.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm running like a real tidy Google Drive, Google Doc setup. Everything's in folders. Everything's done. All my spreadsheets that I made myself do all the tax and stuff for me. It's just the actual end of the year getting as much value out of my GST return as possible. That's the part I need help with.
How often do you pay GST?
Every 6 months.
Oh, I see. I do it every
2 months. Yeah. Which is what the accountant was saying you should do.
Right.
We went from 2 to... God, this will be an interesting chat. But we went from 2 to 6.
Fascinating.
But when it was 2 months, we used to go through everything that the accountant had done and go, oh, no, you've missed this, this, and this. We should be including that. So there should be all of this other stuff. But when it's 6 months and you've got 6 months worth of... You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever. I'm not going through that.
When I first went into my accountants, because... My taxes were a shambles, and he kind of laughed.
I'm
when
not
he
surprised
saw
at all.
It was an absolute shit show.
You know
and
who
then he went, okay, well, this is a problem. Not because I was doing anything wrong. It was just a shambles.
I'm picturing, who's the guy that came in, the Irish guy we interviewed him, worst interview ever? Dylan Moran.
Yes.
There's like I think it's the first episode of Black Books, or maybe the second. He finally gets an accountant to try and help with his receipts.
He's got all his little bits of paper.
And he's got
shit.
paper in his pockets, and stuff is just stuff he's written down for like a sandwich or something. That's what I'm picturing you used to be like.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And it's just an absolute shambles.
But I just used to have this irrational fear of the Inland Revenue.
Absolutely.
And I'd always err on the safe side. And my accountant was like, why are you doing that? You're totally entitled to do these things. And I'd be like, oh, I just don't want to,
I don't want no trouble.
No. Leave it to me. I can talk to them and we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
And it's your current one?
Yes.
Right, and now you're tickety-boo.
Look at you go, man.
Yeah,
Far
man.
out. And then is that the accountant that processes me getting paid after you've got me a gig?
Yeah, well, that hasn't happened yet, obviously. But
and then does he process that?
No, you'll have to pay him.
Right, okay. See, these are all the things I'm learning about Mogi is like you get an agent and then you've got to pay all this stuff.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you're being taken for a ride almost.
Yeah,
Can
100%.
feel like that. Feel like that sometimes.
Hard to find an honest agent out there, Keezy, I tell you what.
Jeez.
God. Hey, listen to Hauraki, man. 4 till 7 every weekday. You will love it.
So good.
You'll love it.
It'll
Thanks,
be all right,
mate.
eh?
Yeah, it's be great.
Good on you.